see in here still the kitchen, the old chimney breast. You could actually hear that you could actually light a fire and send the smoke up the chimney there because the chimney's still there. Look, if you look up there, the chimney's still there. So you can actually do a fire here and send the smoke up the chimney.
Really?
Because the chimney breast is still complete. So this was Lord Leverhume's part of its house anyway. But we're just taking a look around these buildings just to see if there is any evidence of animals hiding out here, and especially if we hear any sounds of anything unusual. Mostly the thing I'm looking out for. So this is where we did the paranormal in here. Those people that remember when we did the witchcraft, well we weren't actually doing any witchcraft, we were just doing normal regular paranormal, and we got a coven of witches gone through. Now this stone has been here for some time, so we're assuming it's been used in the past for those kind of purposes, like an altar, because we always seem to get witches coming through when we come to this part. Places for animals to come and shelter and to come and hide. I mean, alright, I know there's no roof, but it's shelter from the wind and the rain and the snows when they come, so there's quite a lot of these derelict buildings up here belonging to Lord Leverhume, so we're going to take a look at all of them tonight and see if we can gather any evidence at all of something may have bedded down here at some point. Hi, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And tonight, on the windiest night in January, we've brought you out once again to Rivington Country Park, and we're going to have a walk around all the areas and all the hot spots where people are supposedly seen either dogman type creature or black cats, panther type, or any other strange and unidentified cryptid that's been roaming these parts. So we're going to trek about tonight, and we're going to stop in different locations and listen out, see if we hear anything strange. Just talk a little bit about other people's experiences as well as our own. So come with us on this wild and stormy windy night, and we are not doing any paranormal tonight. This is purely just cryptid only. So come with us and enjoy. Okay guys, so we're going to start this walk through the Pinetum, it's called, at Rivington. It's a different variety of trees, and they're mostly like a memorial garden for different people. So this is the foot of the climb to Rivington Pike and the Pigeon Tower for those people who know this area. So we are coming up this way because to my right hand side in that area someone reported that they were being followed by something large and heavy, and every time they looked around there was nothing there. And then this person, I think it was two ladies actually, had dogs with them, caught a glimpse of something large and furry, black fur, on two legs going through the trees and disappearing. So they caught a view of it from behind. The ladies were a bit, freaked out and not quite sure what it was. So following up some people's local sightings, local stories, things that people have seen, sounds, anything like that, because we get a lot of campers coming up here in summer who are, also likely to encounter things. So we're going to take a walk up, climb up. We're going to walk now to the foot of the ravine, and then we're going to climb up to one of the ponds. There's a lot of caves around that pond, so we're thinking that if there's anything taking shelter tonight on such a night, then it's likely to be under stone covering or something like that. So we're going to head on up there and see if we can see anything. So for now we're just going to show you where we are and keep quiet a minute, and then listen out for any potential dogman or cat sounds. So we heard a growl, didn't we, Andy, in Smithles Woods on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, we can't.
Which has prompted us to pick our cameras up and do this again, because we'd gone for a walk on Christmas Eve from Smithles Hall down through the woods, just a walk, not filming, not doing any paranormal, not doing any of those things. And we sat down on the bridge and we heard this growl, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we sat there for a few minutes, and then we wished we'd brought something to record it on.
It was quite loud.
A growl, wasn't it? Big growl, big deep growl.
Yeah.
So we
for what it was.
Yeah, we got out of the woods and back up to the hall for safety, and then we were just talking about it and saying, well, possibly it's this big black cat that people are seeing in this Winter Hill region. It's been sighted now several different parts of Winter Hill, and every time I see something shining I put my camera on it just to make sure it's not a pair of eye shine or anything like that. That's the one thing we do need to look out for, really, any eye shine. But there's deer going to be up here, so, and sheep too. We caught sheep last time, didn't we? Eye shine. I doubt the sheep will be out in this weather, to be honest. I should think they'll be nice and cosy and warm in a barn now. So we're in the middle of January and it's high winds and they've predicted some snow. But for us, we just get out in any weather. It doesn't matter about the weather, we just want to get out and do it. And do you think Cryptoid's going to bother about the weather? I don't think so. But I do question that, like other animals, do they come lower down in winter for warmth and shelter and go higher up in summer? Like most other animals. So you never know where or when you're going to have an experience with these things. Me and Andy had our sort of main experience at Tockholes at the Well House. As people probably know, you've seen it by now and heard the sounds we picked up. And it's for that reason, really, that we decided to sidestep from paranormal and do a little bit of cryptid hunting at the same time as a sideline. And it's becoming a more bigger and popular subject for people to follow now with the YouTube cameras. Lots of people are having experiences. Right, so we've got some deer up ahead. So we're going to go slow and then we don't disturb them too much. Hopefully we're going to pick them up on this camera. They're walking up ahead of us, two of them, you can just see the tails. One of them's looking directly at this camera now. I don't think we're close enough to catch them. And I think by the time we get up there they're going to have run off into the woods. But it's just so nice to see, especially when you're out on a really dark, windy, like a night like this, to see a couple of friendly animals about in the woods. Yeah, they're just standing to one side. They're probably trying to hide from us, so I don't really want to startle them too much. But it would be real nice if we can catch them on camera for you guys. It's just a pair of them walking up ahead of us. They keep turning around every now and again, checking us out. But just to catch the eye shine would be something, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're much faster than us, especially up this ravine. Bloody hellfire, this ravine. It gets me every time. So we're heading up to one of the ponds right now, where we're going to sit it out and just listen and look about the caves. We're not going to go all the way up to the pike tonight because we're going to get blown clean off the top if we do that, so we'll go up as far as the Pigeon Tower and then turn round and come back via a second pond. All of these locations, by the way, are all haunted, and we have in the past had some paranormal activity up here in different areas. So we weren't actually going to do that tonight, but as usual, you're doing dogman stuff and often you get spirits sneaking in. Same like when you're doing paranormal, you come across some strange encounter with some cryptid that you didn't know existed. So whatever we're doing, filming wise, we always keep an open mind as to what else is possible. Them deers seem to have vanished, don't they?
Yeah, we're up here at the top. There's been a lot of sightings of cryptoids, dogmen, wildcats up here. Because there's a lot of places up here for them to hide out. There's been a lot of sightings. But from what the witnesses that I've heard about, people have been guided down from here without torches, gently pushed in a direction by whatever it is. So for me, I'm not so sure whether it's not so much of it's guiding people and keeping people safe. These are several different stories of times where people have witnessed this creature and it's helped them down from the top here down to the bottom.
I'll just film around and show everybody where we are right now. So this is one of the ponds and there are some caves dotted around at the back. Now these ponds were part of Lord Leverhume's ornamental gardens, so he had these created especially as part of his garden design. So with a pond in front of us, and you can hear how wild it is, but you know it's actually mild, isn't it, Andy? Because we've been out in -4, haven't we, at Pendle and all that over winter, so it's pretty okay right now. The temperature wise it's not cold, it's just extremely windy. So I think what we're going to do is from here we'll go up to the Lord Leverhume ruined buildings.
Yeah.
For people that have watched our paranormal will remember that we've done paranormal there. Yeah. We've contacted a coven of witches through the spirit talker and stuff. So I think we'll check out those buildings and then head across to, there's some more buildings which were kind of used like summer houses back in the day. Yeah. Just check them all out and have a look if there's any traces of anything that could have been bedding down for the night, because there's a lot of like abandoned and derelict buildings up top here and the castle at the bottom as well. So I'm pretty sure that if you're out and about at the right time, in the right place, you could encounter something that lives up here. Oh yeah. Because it's vast, and up on top of Winter Hill itself there's all these mine shafts and tunnels going on, and I think these things are just, they know how to survive. That's one of the theories. And the other theory is, are they more of a supernatural, like an alien thing? Are they being brought here and then picked up?
Nobody seems to know what they are, where they come from, why they're here, and until somebody actually gets pictures or comes face to face with one, nobody will know.
The thing is, like, Have they ever found a dead one, or have they found a dead one and just shipped it away somewhere
Well,
and not told people like they do with Bigfoot?
That's the big question, isn't it? Whether these things are being covered up, but you just have to keep going and searching, don't you?
Yeah,
Coming
you've got to
and
be
having
out
a
here.
look, and there's plenty of people doing it now, so whether we will be allowed to show evidence, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, that's true. That goes
Yeah.
for all governments, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, but we'll just hang it out here for 5 or 10 minutes. And if we hear any strange sounds, like I'm going to switch on the other camera really quick and film it, because when we were at Tockholes, kicking ourselves now that Andy caught 6 minutes of really good footage, and then we knocked the cameras off because of out of pure fear, really, and panic. But now we've decided that no matter what, we are going to roll those cameras, even if we just pick up the sound evidence. So yeah, it's very, very wild right now, so we're not going up the pike because we're going to get swept clean off from there, and Mountain Rescue won't be very happy with us at all. So we won't go up the Pigeon Tower either, because that's only going to be the same. So we're going to go up to Lord Leverhume's, the remains of what was his house, and we have a little bit of history now we can tell you up there. We've been talking to a local historian, and something's come to light now which may explain why we have black cats and black panthers up here on Winter Hill.
Yeah.
So we're going to share that with you when we get up there. For now, we're just going to sit here, and if we get anything strange, we're going to bang the camera straight on and capture it, and then you guys can hear it.
Yeah.
Right, so we're at Lord Leverhume's estate now, and his house is further back, so we're going to go there in a minute. So I brought you to this area here because where it's all walled off all the way along, I've been told now by a local historian, Lord Leverhume back in the day, in the 1850s, when it was popular for Victorian people to collect exotic animals from around the world, Lord Leverhume had made a couple of trips over to the Far East, Japan, China and India, and he had these wonderful gardens built here at Rivington Gardens, Rivington Country Park. So he also added to his collection some exotic animals, and some of those animals being like tigers and black panthers. So the suffragette movement in the 1900s, some of the Manchester suffragettes came up here and let loose some of these animals as a protest, and the animals just ran off over the hills. So that is one explanation as to why we're getting the black panther up here, because Lord Leverhume's collection of exotic animals were let loose, and the black panther can actually adapt to any climate. So somehow I think that cat has managed to survive and pair up, and maybe it was already in a pair, and that's why I think we're getting so many sightings of this black cat up on Winter Hill. So we're going to walk up to the house. So all of these walled off bits here, these are all individual pens, animal pens, animals that he collected. So be it tigers, bears, panthers, possibly lions. All these areas that are walled off were the original pens to his house. So that would explain, for me anyway, it definitely explains how there can be, would you call it a pride of panthers, black ones, living up here on Winter Hill in the wilds. Because there's been so many sightings now by hikers during the daytime, people at night time, bikers, mountain bikers, and people hiking like us. So I think it's very possible that they descend from the animals that he kept here. So we're going to go on into what was part of his house now that's still here. And people who follow our paranormal work will know that we've done already paranormal stuff up here. But we're just going to take a look around really to see if there's any evidence at all of any wild animals possibly inhabiting this area or having been recently, the sources of drinking water. So it's a good place really for wild animals if they wish to be able to hide out. So we'll go into the house now and have a look about. mentioned the old chimney breast. You can actually hear that you can actually light a fire and send the smoke up the chimney there because the chimney's still there. Look, if you look up there, the chimney's still there. So you can actually do a fire here and send the smoke up the chimney. Because the chimney breast is still complete. So this was Lord Leverhume's part of its house anyway. But we're just taking a look around these buildings just to see if there is any evidence of animals hiding out here, and especially if we hear any sounds of anything unusual. Mostly the thing I'm looking out for. So this is where we did the paranormal in here. People that remember when we did the witchcraft, well we weren't actually doing any witchcraft, we were just doing normal regular paranormal, and we got a coven of witches gone through. Now this stone has been here for some time, so we're assuming it's been used in the past for those kind of purposes, like an altar, because we always seem to get witches coming through when we come to this part. Places for animals to come and shelter and to come and hide. I mean, alright, I know there's no roof, but it's shelter from the wind and the rain and the snows when they come, so there's quite a lot of these derelict buildings up here belonging to Lord Leverhume, so we're going to take a look at all of them tonight and see if we can gather any evidence at all of something may have bedded down here at some point. We're going to carry on around these gardens, and we're right up on the tops now, not too far from Rivington Pike, but like I say, it's way too windy to climb up there tonight, so we're just going to stay at this level and then head back down. But we're going to film around some of the structures up here that he had built for his friends and family to enjoy in the summertime. They would sit out, you know, have sandwiches, drinks, talk. He invited a lot of his business associates over, and it was kind of like an impressive place for them to all sort of hang out. So coming up, there are some stone summer houses, and don't forget the ladies would have had those long Victorian dresses on and parasols back then for the summertime. So for us, really, being high up on the wild sort of tops here, it's at Rivington, it's more what's lurking in the woods and in the shadows, what creatures that people are seeing up here. You know, people have reported dogmen, and that's way down at the bottom where the castle is, and people have reported big black cats, panther type, up here. So we're going to follow up and just have a walk about and just see, and we're going to do this quite regular now, just now and again. Just do a night here and see if we can see or hear or find anything that's strange and unusual and shouldn't really be here. And it gives you guys a chance to see the gardens too by night time. It would be really nice if they lit it all up. I think they do that light festival in October around about Halloween where they light everything up, but you know, it would be nice if they could do it, they could afford to light it up permanently, really. So these are the icon summer houses. I think that's some of the stuff in there for the light festival. They do, it's supposed to be really, really good. Around about October, Halloweenish, they do the light festival up. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's for the light festival, obviously that. But these outhouses, these were what we use for summer houses. So I know they're locked up and stuff, but it's always worth looking, isn't it? Just in case anything sheltering in these regions. Especially on such a dark and stormy night as this, and I have to keep saying it, it's a dark and stormy night. It's a proper out of a horror film, isn't it, tonight, dark and stormy. You can go up if you want. Well, let's just go up and then we're going to drop down to the rest of the China gardens. See, they have different names, these gardens. Some people call them the Chinese gardens, And some people call them the Japanese gardens, and some people have called them the Italian gardens. But I think it's actually Japanese. I think what it is, he went to some gardens in Japan and he had someone draw them out, sketch them out, and then he could have the same ones built back here. I'm pretty sure it's Japanese gardens. But it's right in the wilds, look. We're up in the woods. The forest just runs all the way up to where the steps begin to go up to the pike. So there's creatures living all up here. I mean, we've got the usual foxes and deer, but there's been so much of this cryptoid stuff, hasn't there, Andy, being reported in the northwest of England now.
Yeah.
Not only up here, throughout the UK really, Wales and Scotland, isn't it? It's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand it.
But the thing is, it only seems to have been the last kind of decade.
Yeah, it does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
It's only been sort of, I'd say since about 2015 that you've had these multitudes of sightings.
Because people are capturing, people have got phones with them all the times now, and people have got cameras and better stuff, better equipment to capture these things. So that's possibly one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Or maybe the breeding more.
Could be that. It also could be that we seem to be getting more and more visits by UFOs now since 1947, isn't it?
It's all. We have had to.
We're getting different stories, aren't we?
It is. Well, is it like a lot of cases when we get too near the truth?
Yeah.
That's what makes it. But you just have to keep going, don't you?
Of course you do.
You have to keep going with it, seeing what happens. So yeah, just keep going.
So we just want to show you how high up we are. If you can see in the background the lights over there. So way back there is the cool docks, red lights coming into view, and then as we come up we're going to have like Southport in that direction and then Blackpool further up, but we can't see all of that because of the trees, but you can see the lights back there. That just gives you an idea of just how high we are here, and we haven't even climbed up as far as the Pigeon Tower. So the Pigeon Tower was designed for Lady Leverhulme for her sewing, dressmaking and stuff, and embroidery. But I've heard another story that she was a bit of a fan of the opera and she used to practice the opera, and he didn't like her singing, so he also had it built so she could sing to her heart's content up there and he wouldn't be disturbed. And then higher up we have Rivington Pike itself, which has been around for centuries. That's like a beacon really. So we can't get up there tonight because of the wind. It's way too windy for that. It's very high up and we'll be swept off the tops and it's just going to lead to disaster. So from here we're going to start heading down. Part of the Japanese gardens now. And in the night these logs, they freak you out because they look like something else until you get close up to them. So this is a sheer drop back here. And once again you can see the lights in the background. So we've come a little bit further down now. So once again you've got the summer houses, the Victorian summer house going on. But they've locked it up so people can't go in because some of the stone is falling down. But we have a little look around because it's also footprints, Andy. I'm just going to go up these steps to this bit here. And then we'll come back down to the pond and we'll just sit and wait it out and see if we can hear anything. We've heard a few owls. We always have a conversation with the owls when we're out. So this is like a viewpoint, so I should be able to see you from here. Show you how high up and that we are. Might be able to get some landmarks here for you as well. Just have a quick look around. So in the background, let me get my bearings right. That way is Preston. So Blackpool is going to be like further up. And down here this is going to be like Wigan. Chorley, Wigan, and then like going down towards Southport. This black here is all forest, pure forest. We're on the path which comes down from the pigeon tower. So we'll walk a little bit up it, but we're not going all the way up because it's pretty open and the wind is just, it's just crazy tonight, windy, isn't it, Andy? But we can shelter a little bit in these buildings, which is lucky. But if you're up on the tops, no chance. So we've got to play it safe and just go up. Let's go up to that building there and look about, and then we won't go any higher up because then we're coming out of the pigeon tower and come back down to the pond. Just want to give you guys, we're giving you a nighttime walk anyway for those people who'd love to come and do this at nighttime. You can do it from your armchairs with your glasses of wine and your hot chocolates. So yeah, that's the stairs up to the pigeon tower. I'll show you the stairs, but we're not going to go up because it's just a bit too wild at the minute. There's also another structure up there, like a bridge. There's the pigeon tower just in the background, and the bridge there. That pigeon tower. Let's just go up these steps and I might be able to get it in the shot. It always reminds me of the Addams Family house or the Psycho house. It's a well creepy spooky place. Let's see if I can get it in now. It's still a bit dark really. You might be able to just make it out, it's right there, but it's a creepy building. But it's a good landmark for when you're walking up here, if you've lost your path. Pigeon Tower and Rivington Pike. So we're going to go back down the steps now to, there's a pond. Now this pond, this has been the sighting of a horseman ghost which got in the Bolton Evening News back in the late 1970s. And I remember my dad getting the paper and bringing me and showing me and saying, look, two ladies have seen a ghost at this pond. And then he packed us up some lunch and brought us up here. So that was when I was about 7 or 8, and I do remember the photo in the paper. You can probably Google it for those people who still want to see it. Bolton Evening News, late 1970s, horseman ghost at Rivington Pond. It shows these two ladies, and there's like a cavalier type guy stood between the two of them, but white, you know, like all white, like you'd expect a ghost to look. And when they took that picture, obviously there was just the two of them. So there was that, and at the same time, in the paper, roughly, more or less the same time, one of the coaches from Smithers Coaching House, when it was a restaurant, had shown a figure of a ghost sitting at the window, and somebody took a picture of that and sent it to the paper. So Bolton was getting pretty high on the list of paranormal places to visit. Then there's a town centre where the Earl of Derby was executed, which apparently is very haunted. The Man Inside pub there does overnight paranormals and things. So yeah, we did have kind of like a spell of just lots of different ghost sightings, and it became very popular with the paranormal world. So today, obviously, we're next generation paranormalists. We're up here revisiting those places to see if we can find any evidence of the same ghosts, or even more recently these cryptids now that have been making themselves known here and there to people. And find a place to sit if you want, and then just have a quiet wherever you want to go. Yeah, I think sometimes if you just sit and listen, you can get some odd sounds. I'll just show you guys the pond first before we knock the camera off for a quiet listen out. But if we hear anything strange, I'm going to whack the other camera on real quick and then you can hear it. So that's the pond. This is the pond where the horseman was seen. Now obviously over the years the story gets all bits added on, doesn't it? And by the time we got the story, he was headless and he was galloping along carrying his head under one arm. And it's like, it's not true. So this George's Lane up here apparently is named after this horseman who was called George. There's some history about him. Apparently he was a regular cavalier that galloped at this area, and the reason he gets seen here apparently is because he used to stop and give his horse a drink when he was taking the route from Blackburn probably, down over the tops into Bolton, and then maybe on to Manchester, and he probably stopped here for a rest and to give his horse a drink of water. So of course, legend being legend, but by the time the 1970s comes about, that man has suddenly become the headless horseman of Rivington Pike and gallops about like the one from Sleepy Hollow, thrusting his sword and waving his arms. It's like, Dad used to threaten us with that.
Yeah,
When we were kids.
bits are added, aren't they?
They used to take us out to the country pub for like Coke and crisps. Sit in the car and don't move, because if you do, the headless horseman's going to gallop across these moors and get you.
Way of making you not. Excuse me.
The right turns, that's now San Marino, and the
Yeah.
millstone, which is down this end. We got threatened, if you get out of that car, the headless horseman's going to gallop down from Rivington Pike
Kept you
and
in
grab
the car,
you
though,
all.
didn't it?
It worked. Just say that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, Andy, but I think that this place, it has different feelings about it everywhere you go. Like,
Yeah.
we was just walking by some rocks before, and we couldn't film it really because it was way too windy where we were.
Weird.
But I felt really freaked out and really creeped out up there, and I don't know why. But when we're walking along, I'm thinking, shall we film it? I'm thinking, but it's too windy.
I did feel uneasy.
Now we're in an alcove, but I felt, I just
didn't
felt
say out.
like it just felt really
didn't.
creepy and really
Yeah.
freaky up there, and I can't put my finger on why. Now we're at this pond, which is supposed to be haunted, and we're in this nice little alcove here. It feels completely calm and totally relaxed. So I think wherever you go
Yeah. It was.
in this region, all over Winter Hill, really, it changes. It's like there's been a couple of murders, up on Winter Hill. There's been the Scotchman one, the Scotsman Stump, which was related to the guy that got shot in 1830, which has some connection to Smithers Hall. And then the two lads. Now, there's different stories floating around about these two lads. Now, I got told, because I went to 20 years ago at Smithers Hall, which is our base. I went to a lecture there by a guy who was a professor of archaeology at Salford University, and he took students on different field trips, like digging. They did the one at Mossbank Park where they dug the hall up, teaching the students how to do the archaeology, and then they covered it back up again. So they were digging up on the tops up here, I think it was in the 80s, maybe the 90s, and they found two skeletons. And the kids were thinking, we found some ancient, tribal skeletons or whatever, so they was dead excited about it. But the professor said they're not deep enough in the ground, they're not 15 feet, so there's no way they would be a lot deeper if they were going back that far. So he had to report it as two skeletons. So as far as I know, and I'm not 100%, because this story takes different turns depending on who you talk to, the two skeletons got shipped off for forensic testing, and it turned out they were related, so they were like brothers. Now, the police opened it back up as a cold case because the only thing they could link it to was in the 1950s, two brothers disappeared from central Manchester, a pub called the Turk's Head, which is at the back of the Manchester Arndale, which is still there. They were involved in a gang where there was lots of dodgy dealings going on. They were both chefs, apparently, and they were involved in this gang selling stuff on the black market. Now, they disappeared and never got found. And then when these two skeletons turned up here, it matched the being two brothers, being roughly the same age, where they were buried, roughly 1950s, the depths of where they were. So the professor from Salford Uni then brought his students back up here and built those two piles of rocks and called them two lads after the two skeletons that were found. Now, that's the story I got told, and I got told that story by the professor who led that archaeological dig. So there are other sort of legends and stories floating around, and different people have got different. So it's not really 100% what actually happened up there with that, but it's a really spooky place. And we've done paranormal up there, and we've got quite a few really strange messages relating to people going missing and murder and stuff like that. So I always find with the Winter Hill region that it changes in feeling everywhere you go. And here it's so peaceful and so calm, and yet this is where they've had this ghost sighting. Now, up there, I don't know what it was, all these rocks looming over and the wind blowing, maybe, I don't know, but I freaked out and I thought this is just the creepiest area. And we're only part way down yet, we've got a ways to go. But, yeah, I'd like to know whether people get that feeling when they're up and about these parts. You know, do they
Oh yeah.
feel creeped out in some places and okay in others? Just gotta listen out. Not heard anything but that tree creaking over there and the odd owl. Giving you another view. In the distance there is actually Blackpool Tower changing colours, so it's a really clear night tonight. Now we're going to walk from here down to an arched bridge where recently there was a sighting of a little boy in Victorian clothes running up. So we're going to head down that way now, but obviously we're focusing more on wild animals and things. But obviously if we're going to go to any areas where there's been any ghost sightings, we'll stop and mention that as well. We did already the paranormal up here. We had 3 students with us on that occasion, and we had a fire pit up at Lord Leverhume's derelict house there to talk about the ghost sightings and things. So there's a glove there all on its own. Always looks suspicious, doesn't it, for a start? It reminds you of that film, The Pink Panther, doesn't it, where he robs the diamond and leaves the gloves with his initials on. Right, so we're coming across some more of the buildings belonging to Lord Leverhume, and these steps going down to this arch bridge at the bottom. Now I do know there has been a sighting of a little Victorian boy running up these steps or down these steps towards that arch bridge in like a flat cap and long, you know, the shorts that Victorian kids used to wear. So whether he's connected to Lord Leverhume's family, or you know, whether it's just some random ghost kid that used to come up here and play, we don't know. But some people have seen that. Not this bit further down where we're going to right now. So we always keep an eye open just in case anything like that should want to show itself while we're out here with the cameras. Because I've always found that it's when you're doing the cryptid stuff in the woods, the ghosts show up. And when you're doing the ghost stuff, the flipping cryptids turn up. So you think, bloody hellfire, you know, what's going on here? When we were doing the paranormal at Tuckall's Well, we got them wild dog barks and things, didn't we, and strange noises, which we didn't expect. And then when you're doing cryptid stuff, a ghost is likely to turn up, and so you never really know what to expect when you're out on these missions in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest and stuff. Because this is like a combination of forest and ruined buildings, being someone's private gardens from the Victorian era. Now these are the steps where they've seen this little boy, this little urchin running up and down. But then again, he could have been a member of Lord Leverhume's family, in which case he'd have been a well-to-do kid. So no one knows who he is, but they just said he was in Victorian clothing. So if that boy is here, whilst we've got night vision rolling, you can come forward and show yourself as a nod. Whilst we're out here looking for Dogman, or Black Cat, or anything else unusual that might want to show up. So we get back down on this bit of road. So we're coming down now quite a bit. I have a vague recollection of where I am. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying, right? And you know what my head's like? I don't have a built-in sat-nav. Although we do need one. I do need one. I know the haunted areas, let's put it that way. And the walk that I take, I usually come down from the Pigeon Tower, down those steps to where we've just been at the pond, and then I go across to the other pond, and then I come down the ravine back to the barn. That's the way if I'm walking it. So when I come off track and go around all these places, I must admit I get a little bit lost as well. and I've been coming up here all my life, you know, with my folks and that, my family, but still, it's like the Wizard of Oz, the yellow brick road, and it's constantly changing. A few people who've camped out here have said they've had that vibe of Blair Witch, because some people who've camped out here have felt that the scenery's actually changed. You know, like they've gone up one path and they've pitched the tent, and in the morning when they've come out, the paths seem to have changed. Now, I don't know if that's people having too many beers and then getting into a deep sleep in the night and forgetting which way they pitched the tent, but or whether they've actually had the experience of pitching the tent and then coming out and the paths seem to be heading in a different direction. Who knows? You know, all paranormal and supernatural stuff needs to be kept open, doesn't it, really, for debate, because
Do you think you could round here? Do you think you're
I think it'd be easy to get lost.
Yeah, I do think you could.
Right, so we're working our way back along the paths, trying to find our way back down, really, because it's a sheer drop down there into the trees. So we're just working our way. There's steps here, there and everywhere, but we're keeping camera rolling just in case. This would be the perfect place for any creatures to hide out. Look at it down there. We're on one path, there's another path down there going along. It's just perfect conditions. I think up here, if you can turn right and go down that slope, we'll probably end up back on the same path that you was looking at earlier. That path down there. It's probably going to take us back to the path that you was going to go on. So many paths, isn't there? But you know what, they've put a lot more in since I've been up here. They seem to have put more slopes in now. Maybe so that people could come up on scooters. You know, if they need to, if they can't walk and stuff. So I'm not sure if that waterfall is like up there or whether it's down there. What do you want to do? Do you want to go down? I don't mind either way. Alright, let's go down here, and then I've actually come off night vision and gone into colour now, but the view's pretty okay at the minute. Yeah, just let me. Yeah, so just bear with us, guys, because we're just practicing with this camera still. Oh, with me, I knocked it off somehow. Alright, so we're just working our way back down the paths now through the woods. I'm just going to listen out, because when me and Andy heard that growl in Smithers Woods the other week, which is only about 7 or 8 miles away from here, we just didn't expect that at all. We weren't even filming, we were just out for a nighttime walk, Christmas Eve. We thought we'd go for a nice nighttime walk and take a flask of hot chocolate with us, just, you know, get ready for Christmas and all that. And then we sat down on the bridge, one of the bridges, and we heard this deep growl. We just looked at each other, didn't we, Andy? We didn't know what to make of it, did we?
No, it was
not expected at all that. So that then made us start looking into people's black cat sightings and taking it a bit more seriously now, because I think when you've had an encounter yourself, I mean, me and Andy have had sounds. We've not seen anything visibly, have we?
No.
But we've had like sounds, like the dogman sounds at Tockholes, and then that growl in the woods on Christmas Eve, and it's just, for me now, there is 100% something there. It's like ghosts and UFOs, isn't it, and everything. I think until you actually have some like experience yourself, you're a little bit skeptical, like, oh, is it real, is it, you know, whatever, people perhaps exaggerated. But when you have your own experiences, then you know what, it's real. It's real, but we just don't know why, do we? I do think the black cat is a natural animal native to Britain, but I do think the dogman is possibly something connected with UFOs. I mean, I had that theory the other night where I was thinking, you know how you can do like a hologram? You know how, like, say for example, they're doing the ABBA tour in London at the minute, aren't they? And you've got like the 4 ABBA members dancing on the stage, but they're not really there. Yeah, and they also did it also with Les Dawson's missus and his daughter did it as well, didn't they? The Les Dawson hologram thing where they put him back on the stage to perform one last time after he died. Now I'm thinking, could these cryptids be like some kind of a hologram that's being shown from some UFO or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Just to see how we react. I know it's a bit far-fetched, and I know it's a bit deep, but it did cross my mind at some point. Look at all these steps on there. So we can either go up there, which we've just come from there, or we can go up there, or we can go down there, or we can go down there, or we can go up here. So we've got a choice. Watch this now. Andy's got a choice of 5 different locations. Which is he going to choose? Is he going to go all the way up them steps back up to the pigeon tower in the wild stormy wind? Or is he going to go along there, which I know takes you towards the pigeon tower, really? Or is he going to go down there and end up on the farm? I won't go that way if I were you. Because we're going to end up in Rivington village, and we're not parked up that way. So we can either go down that way, or we can go along this way. Now, if you want to find that creepy waterfall, I've got a feeling it's this way. But if you want to go down and come out of the top barn, then you can go that way.
This way?
That'll bring you out probably at the top, that road where the top barn is. Or if you go that way...
I'd rather go this way because
it's flat, innit?
It's
flat. It's wet, it's windy and we're clumsy, so just bear all that in mind when you choose which path. The flattest, levelest one for me seems the best option because there's too many steps and too many slippery slopes, and there's me and you to take into account. So let's just, I'm pretty sure this is the one that comes out at that, what you call the creepy waterfall, where that guy, Chakra Dave, told us there was a lot of black magic witchcraft going on, do you remember?
Yeah.
So to cut a long story short, we called a plumber out, didn't we, to see to our kitchen sink. And he also was an expert in doing chakras on people, healing and all that. He'd seen some of our books on shelf, hadn't he? So he started talking about chakra healing and all that.
Yeah, I did.
And he said he was dating a girl that was a witch, and he didn't realise she was into black magic until she told him that she came up here to this particular waterfall practising with a coven of black witches. And we was a bit bothered about it, weren't we? So we came up and sprinkled some salt about and tried to lift, as we do, you know, and as we have done before at Pendle Hill and other places when we feel that people have been doing black arts and the darker side, the negative side of witchcraft. If me and Andy know that, then we will come along with our rituals to lift such energies and to make it once again a safe place for people to go and explore and to do contact with spirit without having anything demonic coming through, and only people who are knowledgeable on the occult and witchcraft can do that kind of thing. So because Andy and I are practicing witches, as you probably all well know by now, we take it upon ourselves to go out to these certain locations and do rituals which protect and lift the energies that other people have left behind. One of the places we cleansed was one of the Edinburgh vaults on the overnight, weren't it, Andy?
Yeah.
Which they'd had a lot of poltergeist activity in there, the south vault, and we'd gone on the overnight, so we got it to ourselves, and we did a little ritual there too, didn't we, on a cleansing?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But we aren't back in there yet to see if it's made any difference or not.
No, we haven't.
So, if we end up at this waterfall, this is the place that Chakra Dave was telling us about, where that coven of witches did their thing, the black magic stuff. So we shall see. If we find it, we'll film it for you. So we've actually found the area now where those witches were practicing black magic and stuff. So I'm going to head down these steps to that area. Now, I was talking about Chakra Dave. He was quite bothered by it really, because he didn't understand witchcraft. He's more of a healing guy, and he said to us he'd seen our books on the shelf about all different types of witchcraft, and he said, what is it when a person is in a dark cult and they're burning black candles and doing all these chants at midnight up Rivington? And I'm thinking, well, it depends. I said, you know, because black candles really is for new moon, so it could be that it's just traditional, ordinary pagan witchcraft that they're doing. All depends, and he said that they were doing some kind of weird spells on other people, so I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, this is the area, part of it, where they were doing all this stuff. So we came down and blessed all this and consecrated it with salt and sage, and we did a bit of a cleansing in this region here because it isn't fair when other people want to come and use this space for other things. You know, it's not just paranormal. A lot of people do a lot of exercise, a lot of people do a lot of running, and you know, they'll do a lot of stretches here, and mountain bikers will come up and pull up here, and I just don't think it's fair that you get these people who come and start throwing all this negative energy about in places it needs to be shared by everybody. And really, I don't agree with... I mean, alright, I know there's dark covens, you know there's dark covens, there's one up in Edinburgh in the vaults, but keep it in your own space, innit? Don't bring it out where other people can be affected by it.
I think it's all about being out in the woods and out in that. And,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, these people who do the black stuff, the black magic rituals and all that, they leave a negative lingering energy behind. And I don't think that's fair when it's a space like this that other people...
My opinion is, the people who are doing that are people who are playing with witchcraft and dark arts. People who truly do the dark arts, like the ones who use the Highgate, really know what they're doing and they don't leave anything behind.
Yeah.
These are people who, more likely younger people who particularly don't know what they're doing.
Like they've watched a few films and want to do with it kind of thing.
My opinion, and it's probably not one that everybody will agree with me, and people probably say I'm wrong and this, that and the other, but my opinion is there's a place for both.
Yeah.
Used properly.
Yeah. But the thing is, most witches, I mean all the witches I know anyway, have their own personal space where they work.
Yeah. My opinion of that is...
So we've got, again, the summer house thing there, another one. Now there is a waterfall coming down somewhere, and that's the other area where they used to light the black candles, according to Dave when we spoke with him, if you remember. Because I think they wanted the energy of the water, and that's why they set up here with the black candles.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what exactly they were doing. I think they were just targeting some other people they didn't actually like or get on with or whatever. But that area and this area has been plagued by black magic witches, as far as we know. That's the local source. The man who lives in Horwich, told us that. So we don't know. We haven't seen for ourselves. We can only go off what people are telling us. We don't know. We haven't seen anything, and we haven't seen anything left behind, have we? Like black can. But they're going to collect all that stuff and take it away. They're not going to leave it, are they? They've got a brain cell between them. Do you know what I'm saying? But most witches, including ours, you've got your own personal space for working, don't you? You work there. You don't... Alright, okay, occasionally we'll do the outdoor ritual like we did the winter solstice one. Because it was the first full moon of the year, it was a super moon, and the energies are good. And occasionally we'll go up to Pendle Quarry and do some rituals there, because it's traditionally where the Pendle witches used to practice. But other than that, really, yeah, it's good to work outside with the elements. But I think you've always got to be careful on your areas. So I can hear the waterfall from here. So this is the area where they set up some of what they were doing. But there has been a history of witchcraft up here. I remember back in the 1970s. Yeah, we can do, but let's just go to the waterfall first. And I think when we'd gone up the top before, where it was pretty flat, where the big summer house on its own was, that's where, well, I got told when I was a kid, that's where the witchcraft was taking place. And it's not that far from the derelict Leverhulme house where we've had them messages come through when we did the paranormal shoot. We've done 2 paranormal shoots up here. We did one in summer with the students, and then we did one in winter ourselves. So if anybody wants to see the paranormal or the ghost side of things, if you just just put in Rivington, all of our Rivington stuff will come up, and some of it is paranormal and some of it is cryptoid and stuff. So yeah, it was round here apparently they set up candles and see if there's any bits of burnt log or anything lying around. Maybe there's burnt log, then they've been having fire, then they've got the elements, haven't they? It's going back up then, isn't it? I think that would take us back to the ravine though, really, so it's whether you want to go down the ravine or whether you want to come out at the barn. Let me have a look here first before we move on. Yeah, so this is where they were doing some of the stuff. Well, I would go back and go down, really.
Back and go down?
Yeah. We're only going to come out on the same path just a bit further up, near the barn, Rivington Hall barn, where they have the best kick-ass Halloween parties. If ever you want to go to a really good fancy dress, Rivington Hall barn. They do about 3 or 4 of them through the end of October, on Fridays and Saturday nights. And seriously, it's such a good night. The food's great, and there's entertainment. They've got people on stilts and fire eaters. They've got girls dancing in hoops, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. And it's fancy dress. They've got pumpkins lit up everywhere, and they've got outside the patio heaters are on, and they play the best music. They play like literally bits of everything. So yeah, it's a really good party. We've been going years and years and years and years, but we missed it last year and the year before because we'd just come back from doing long haul travel and we didn't manage to make it in time. Yeah, I go down, and then this should bring us out at the road that goes up to Rivington Hall barn, and we're parked at Rivington Coffee Barn the other. So we're in the region now. Okay guys, so we've come down to this end of the woods to have our fire pit because we had a bit of commotion up at the castle.
Some dodgy goings on, so we say.
So there were cars driving around, flashing lights at one another and all that, so we thought we'd better not get tangled up with any of this. So we've come to another part of the woods to have our fire pit and to have our hot chocolate.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to continue to just listen out for a little while longer. That's the only thing about Saturday nights in the woods. You get some unsavoury characters hanging around. Like us, for example.
Don't tell me you're suddenly becoming possessed.
Yeah, I know. My head's going to start turning round now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, just... We do like to go down to the castle and have the fire pit there to end the evening at Rivington usually, but there's a few cars like rolling up tonight and, you know, there's a bit of a park up going on. And we're like... I said, let's go to another part where we know it's going to be quiet. So.
Sometimes you've got to be sensitive no matter how much you want to do it, and it would have been great doing it there, but it's not done.
It doesn't really matter where you are in the countryside, you can just listen out.
Exactly.
It's just being in the right place at the right time. Could be anywhere, anytime.
No, it is. And that is it.
Anyway, so if anybody has any strange cryptoid sightings or sounds or anything else going on, please drop us a comment and let us know. And we'll follow up the location, the area of where you're at, and we'll just take it from there. Because it's a big thing now, like for a lot of people, particularly people who, just on the way to work or on the way to school or just doing everyday walking the dog, and then they run into something like that. Alright, people like us, YouTubers, are out all night looking for it, but those people that come across it because it's just crossed their path at that time of the day, and it's frightening, so if anybody's had any weird encounters, then we'd be happy to hear about it.
strange things going on. It's just a case, like you said, it's a case of being in the right place at the right time. You know, the times we've heard noises is when we've been least expecting it, so,
Exactly.
you know, heard stuff when we're not expected to hear anything, so it's just one of them things, isn't it?
It is.
But if you're not out and about, you're not catching
But the thing is though, there's been all different kinds of things being seen, because we was up at Lytham the other week checking on the green man lizard thing that had been seen, and like, so we've gone from green lizards to dogmen to skinwalker type creatures to black cats, which are probably more of a natural animal, to be fair. And it's like, where are these things coming from and why are they here? Who's responsible? Who's behind it all? Or what is responsible?
I think my main thing is, where are they going?
Well, yeah.
Where are they going to? And why have they never been found? Well, like I keep saying, if we did
People
find,
door banging, but there's no doors up here, is there? Unless it's just bits of wood flying about.
oh, it's windy in it, so
I'll bring the camera over here in case it. I heard like wood banging,
yeah, I mean,
but I mean I know it's windy and everything,
it is windy
and perhaps it's just
yeah,
bits of debris flying about and stuff. Maybe.
There's no doors up here, and you don't know.
I think I'm just freaking out now because not because of the dogman thing, because we were up on the tops doing that, so you know you're going to be on your own. It's when you come back down to base, back to your car, and then you know you drive to another car park to go to the castle to do the fire pit, which we always do, but admittedly we're normally doing that like 3-4 in the morning when there's nobody around, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning now, and there was like cars driving around flashing headlights and pulling over, and it's either drugs or dogging or something weird like that going on, you know, and you think we're gonna have to go somewhere else now.
Well, that car where we sat having a soup drove down slowly 3 times, went round that car park slowly, stopped at the end of the car park and slowly went off. Now, if it had been some sort of joyrider who'd have been screeching down the road, zooming round the car park and then screeching back up the road, I'd have got it. But it wasn't. It was. He was sort of slowing. He wasn't screeching coming down the road. He was coming down the road at a normal speed, turning off behind us, slowing down behind us, then going round the car park slowly, then stopping again, then driving up, and then 5 minutes later he'd come back down again. He did that about 3 or 4 times, and I thought, there's something not right there, and I thought, well, alright, we can get out of the car park, our car, and go and do what we're doing. And I thought, but if we're part way walking up and they see torchlights, I mean,
Yeah, you can't risk it, can you?
You never know. You don't know. I mean,
So we've brought our fire pit to this neck of the woods. Okay guys, so once again, thanks for watching this cryptoid video, and please like and please subscribe and click on the notification bell, and please share with other people, and we hope you come back and watch some more of our videos in the future, and there's going to be plenty more paranormal, cryptoid, and we're also going to get back into the abandoned this year as well, something we haven't done for a long time.
Yeah, and if you make a comment and we don't get back to you straight away, we're not ignoring it. It's just that sometimes we're just busy, and it's not that we are disrespectful to anybody who's commenting and we're not getting back straight away. If we don't, we apologise, but we will get back to you straight away, and we, totally appreciate anybody who takes the time to watch our programmes and comments, and we really appreciate it. We really do, to be honest with you. We really do.
Okay, and keep it spooky.
It's spooky.
Good night, everyone.